Hey everybody, this is Scott Leckie from Democracy Tomorrow. This is also a public service announcement about the state of democracy in the world which we all share, the world on which we all live, and on which we are all completely and totally dependent. The earth on which we were all born and on which we will all die, on which we will all live out the, on average, 30,000 days of our lives. Where does democracy stand today? Well, I will try to answer that question as concisely as I can. This might get a little bit boring, but keep listening out for your country and see where it stands. The Economist magazine, every 2 years, most recently in 2023, so we are desperately awaiting the 2025 version, releases what's called the Economist Democracy Index, which very accurately categorizes countries by their level of democracy. Essentially, it divides them into full democracies, flawed democracies, hybrid regimes, which are those with regular electoral fraud preventing them from being fair and free democracies. They include countries that commonly have governments that apply pressure on political opposition, non-independent judiciaries, widespread corruption, harassment and pressure placed on the media, anemic rule of law, etc., etc. That's hybrid regimes. And then finally, authoritarian regimes, and we all know what those are. These are regimes where political pluralism is non-existent or severely limited. Absolute monarchies, dictatorships, despots in control, autocrats in control, authoritarians in control, all of these either non-elected or completely manipulated political systems that allow an individual person, almost always a man, to run things in the way that they see fit without consulting or seeking the approval of the population at large. Almost all authoritarian regimes end in trauma and misery for all concerned. So we have full democracies, flawed democracies, hybrid regimes, and authoritarian regimes. Who's going to win the categorization contest? Are there more full democracies in the world, flawed democracies, hybrid regimes, or authoritarian regimes? Listen out for your country. In the meantime, admire my very stylish shirt, which has the entire world on it. Interestingly, to those who are not used to maps of the world reflecting a position other than the United States in the center, this has Greenland in the center. We'll be talking about Greenland in another episode. It's been in the news quite a lot recently. And it's not about polar bears or icebergs or tundra or anything else, or the beautiful environment. It's about something else, and we will get to that in due time. But to ensure that this is not an overly long podcast, let's go through these. This is last year, 2024. Here we go with the list of full democracies in order of strength of democracy concerned. So the number one democracy in the world is, of course, Norway. And there's another 24 to go, and those are in ascending order of strength of democracy: New Zealand, Sweden, Iceland, Switzerland, Finland, Denmark, Ireland, Netherlands, Luxembourg, Australia, Taiwan, Germany, Canada, Uruguay, Japan, United Kingdom, Costa Rica, Austria, Mauritius, Estonia, Spain, Czech Republic, Portugal, and Greece at number 25. So congratulations to everybody that lives in those countries. Life may not be perfect. Life may be full of ups and downs, but at the very least, you live in a democratic country classified as full democracy, which means, by the way, infinitely more than just your right to vote every 3 or 4 or 5 years. It's about the rule of law. It's about the sense of justice. It's about access to due process. It's about how human rights are taken seriously. It's about the strength and equitable nature of the economy, and the list goes on. Then we come to a list of flawed democracies, led by, perhaps much to the surprise and chagrin of many, given its prominence in all sort of democratic studies in the world, France at number 26. And then the remaining flawed democracies are Malta, the United States at number 28 and declining rapidly, Chile, Slovenia, Israel, South Korea, Latvia, Belgium, Botswana, Lithuania, Cape Verde, Italy, Poland, Cyprus, India, Slovakia, South Africa, Malaysia, Trinidad and Tobago, Timor-Leste, Panama, Suriname, Jamaica, Montenegro coming in at 50, Philippines 51, Dominican Republic, Mongolia, Argentina, Hungary, Croatia, Brazil, Namibia, Indonesia, Colombia, Bulgaria, North Macedonia, Thailand, Serbia, Ghana, Albania, Sri Lanka, Singapore, Guyana, Lesotho at 70, and finally Moldova at 71. So 71 countries have strong full democracies or flawed democracies. Now we turn to the hybrid regimes where they have elements of democracy but generally declining in nature and a whole bunch of characteristics which are essentially non-democratic in nature. Here we go. Starting with number 72. It's Romania, it's Papua New Guinea, Senegal, Paraguay, Malawi, Zambia, Peru, Bhutan, Liberia, Fiji, Armenia, Madagascar, Mexico, Ecuador, Tanzania, Hong Kong, Bosnia and Herzegovina, Kenya, Honduras, Morocco, Ukraine, Tunisia, Georgia, El Salvador, Nepal, Guatemala, Uganda, Gambia, Bangladesh, Benin, Sierra Leone, Bolivia, Turkey, now known as Turkey, Ivory Coast, Cote d'Ivoire, Nigeria, and Angola coming in at 107. So that's the list of hybrid regimes. Do you live in one of those countries? What's it feel like to live in a hybrid regime? Write to us and tell us and indicate how things might be improving or not. Hopefully they are. Finally, we turn to authoritarian regimes. The topic of my second novel, which is coming out soon. Keep your eyes peeled. We start the list of authoritarian regimes with Mauritania at 108, followed by Lebanon, Algeria, Kyrgyzstan, Palestine, Mozambique, Rwanda, Jordan, Ethiopia, Qatar, Kazakhstan, United Arab Emirates, Oman, Togo, Zimbabwe, Cambodia, Comoros, Pakistan, Azerbaijan, Iraq, Republic of the Congo, Egypt, Kuwait, Haiti, Djibouti, Vietnam, Eswatini, which used to be Swaziland, I think, I'm pretty sure, Cuba, Cameroon, Burkina Faso, Bahrain, Mali, Libya, Niger, Venezuela, Gabon, Burundi, China, Uzbekistan, Nicaragua, Saudi Arabia, Guinea, Guinea-Bissau, Russia, Belarus, Eritrea. Do you have the feeling that it's going on rather long? Yes, so do I. Iran, Yemen, Democratic Republic of the Congo, Equatorial Guinea, Chad, Tajikistan, Laos, Turkmenistan, Sudan, Syria, Central African Republic, North Korea, Myanmar, and finally, at 167 and in last place, Afghanistan, where a certain country spent trillions of dollars and then left. We'll talk about that another time too. At any rate, that is your list of at least, there's 193 countries in the world, at least members of the UN, and there's a handful of others that are not included in that list. This only has 167, so there are some missing. I don't know where those are. Oh, here they are. They're listed here. These are ones that are not classified according to the rankings given. And for the sake of clarity, let me outline these. These are Andorra, Antigua and Barbuda, the Bahamas, Barbados, Belize, Brunei, Dominica, the Federated States of Micronesia, Grenada, Kiribati, Liechtenstein, the Maldives, Marshall Islands, Monaco, Nauru, Palau, St. Kitts and Nevis, St. Lucia, St. Vincent and the Grenadines, Samoa, San Marino, Sao Tome and Principe, Seychelles, Solomon Islands, Somalia, South Sudan, Tonga, Tuvalu, and Vanuatu. I've worked in definitely 2/3 of those countries. So that's the news for today, folks. There's a lot of countries in the world that are fully democratic or democratic in a flawed sense, 71 to be precise, and a majority, 96, who are listed here, who are either hybrid regimes, well in need of improvement, or outright authoritarian regimes. The people living in all of those countries deserve a better shake. We hope with this channel to promote ideas and experiences of how to transform countries from their non-democratic status into the democratic camp as a stepping stone towards the ultimate vision that we have, which is where all of us everywhere, all the time, share the same citizenship, the same nationality, the same passports, within an all-inclusive global polity in which all of us participate and get the results that the world needs and that we deserve and that we want collectively, leading, of course, to less violence, less nationalism, less conflict, less poverty, less inequality, and better climate conditions, better environmental conditions generally, more protected oceans, less to zero nuclear weapons, and the list goes on. That's the quest. Hope you found this interesting. If you have any comments or statements regarding this list, and like I said, this is from the Economist Intelligence Unit from 2023. We will soon hopefully be getting the 2025 list, and we will update you at that time. But just remember, we all share the same planet. And if you're lucky enough to live in a democratic country, in whatever way you can, try to not only acknowledge that fact within your own mind, but see what you can do in your own way, in whatever form it may take, to expand the principle that all of us deserve to be governed by people and institutions that are based upon the will of the people, democratic principles, human rights, and the rule of law. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe, tell your friends. All the best.